Hey guys, it's yours truly. This video is very special because it's about how to repower your American GK E60CFs or your American GK E60CPs or CHs. Now, the American GK E60CFs, they use the, even the Walthers ones, they use the Athearn Blue Box SD9 chassis, which the chassis are reversed. So on the normal SD9, this would be the front, but on the American GK, this is the rear of the unit. And they use the GE trucks. These are the cast trucks. So this chassis here has the newer style blue box motor. And it's a very simple design. So you basically have your pickups here, and then your motor, your drive shafts, and then this metal clip that clips on top of the motor, and that basically completes the whole circuit. And then like there'll be a light here or something like that. Now if you're looking to the one in the back, this one has been upgraded with an Athearn Genesis motor, and I'm going to show you exactly how. So basically what you need to do is you need to re-drill out the holes to fit the Athearn Genesis motor. So you need to make them a lot wider, and that will allow you to actually sit the Genesis motor on the chassis. It actually took me several hours to do all the work. Originally I bought this motor to redo an SD40-2 chassis, which is right there, but I ended up using it for my Conrail E60CF. That's the first E60CF that I ever bought. So anyway, it's really simple once you get the motor mounted. I actually inadvertently drilled the holes a little too big, and I actually had to use worm gear bearings inside the holes here to actually allow the screw to actually tap in to the mounting for the motor so that the motor actually sit. But yeah. But once I got everything mounted, it was pretty straightforward. So in order to get this to work, you need to solder one black wire each to the gear towers, or to the pickups here. Okay? So that's number one. Then you need a grounding wire, which this is your grounding point. So you solder a red wire to your grounding point. Okay? Now you already have the two wires that you would need to go from the ground on the motor and the top of the motor. So that's already done for you. So you don't have to do that. So that part's eliminated. Once you get all that soldered, here, then you take your ground wire here, and it goes to your track 1, which is here. So on this side. Then your first black wire goes to track 1 on this side. So this would be, let me just face this the right way. This would be the left, and that would be the right. And then finally, the second black wire would also go to the right side. So when you do this, you want to make sure that the two black wires are congruent. So the black wire on this side and this side. And then looking over here, you really don't need a wire going to this one here. You don't really need a wire to that. Now, you've basically made your locomotive, or your American GK E60CF, a DCC ready engine. And just to prove that, I'm going to take it to the test track, and I'm going to put it on for you guys. Oh, and one other thing, you don't need to insulate the trucks. You do not need to insulate the trucks. And it's super quiet. And it has super slow speed operation. Oh, I almost forgot. I almost forgot something. The drive shafts. So I had to customize the drive shafts, which I think you can actually just buy these from Athearn. I don't know what length they are, but I had to custom make mine. Let me see what brass tubing I have. There it is. This is the brass tubing that I used. I can just... There. That's the brass tubing that I used to modify my drive shafts. So you will need to make your custom drive shafts, unless Athearn. I'm pretty sure Athearn sells the shorter ones. You can just buy those. Now, as far as the worm gears are concerned, I also had to customize those as well. It's still using the original worm gear, but then I use the Athearn Ready to Roll worm gear shaft adapter. I actually had to widen that to fit on the Blue Box worm gear shaft. And that's not glued on, that's actually just a press fit. That actually took a while to do. But the RTR worm gear should fit in here because it's actually it has the same bearings and everything. But yeah, if you don't have to do all that customization with the worm gear and drive shafts, you should just be able to buy the drive shafts and the worm gear straight from Athearn, because I'm pretty sure they sell this length here. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they sell this length worm gear. I'll have to confirm that next week when I go back to Nicholas Smith Trains, because that's where I got this motor from. Because I plan on upgrading this with the same motor. Now, I do have an MTH motor. Now, the MTH motor technically is identical to the Athearn Genesis motor. There's another motor called the Buell motor. Basically, they're all copies of the Ryco motor. So, yeah, I mean, they're pretty much all the same motor. Yeah, if you have one of these, you can use these. But if you prefer getting the Genesis motor, you can just do it the way I did it with the Genesis motor. But yeah, oh, and I have tested this with DCC. So what I did is I actually removed the DCC ready board and I wired it up the same way on the DCC board. I put a Tsunami 2, I tested a Tsunami 2 decoder in it, and I just wanted to see if it would actually work, and it actually does work with everything that you see here. Just wire it up the same way, and it actually will have sound in DCC. Unfortunately, Tsunami doesn't make a decoder like this that has sound in DCC in it for electric locomotives. The decoder that they make, you have to hardwire everything in, which I don't want to do that. I just want to get a decoder that has the electric locomotive files and then drop it in. Now, ESU does make a decoder that drops in that does have electric locomotive sound files. So these more than likely will probably get the ESU decoders. I'm not going to go with the Tsunami because these are electric, but these more than likely will get ESU. But I just wanted to share this with you guys, and not only that, this can work with pretty much any Athearn Blue Box engine that you have. If you just did it this way, it should work with all Athearn Blue Box engines. But if you're just looking to just upgrade your American GK E60CFs and CPs and CHs, this is the way to do it. Now, the E60 CPs and CHs, you will need to make the drive shafts super long because of the distance between the motor and each truck tower, because those frames are completely custom. And even though they use Blue Box parts, those are completely one-off frames that were specifically made for the E60 CPs and CHs from American GK and Athearn. So yeah, those are the exceptions where you're definitely going to have to need like super long drive shafts that are going to need to be custom made. But yeah, I just wanted to share this with you guys, and hopefully this helps you guys take an older locomotive and upgrade it to today's tech. I will have more videos coming in the near future with these locomotives, and hopefully they will have sound in DCC by then. But if not, I can still just do the 8-pin decoder in here, which is cool. Alright, so you guys be cool, and I will see you down the line. Later, y'all.